In this video, I want to do some sober reflecting on what's happening in America today, and especially in light of the tragic incident that just happened in Minneapolis with the death of a 37-year-old mother at the hands of an ICE agent. And there's really three things I want to talk about in this video. First, I want to talk about how we are reacting to these events and why the way we are all reacting is so dangerous. The second thing is I want to talk about the signal through the noise. I want to talk about the deeper issue that I see happening that is driving the increase in violence and civil disobedience on both sides across the country. And third, I want to talk about maybe a prescription of where we go from here. So I want to start, first of all, recognizing the tragedy that happened in Minneapolis. And we have to call it a tragedy. A 37-year-old mom of three is now dead. An ICE agent killed this woman in the line of duty. Many agents and police officers will not kill someone once in their entire career. So I have no idea what he's going through today or how he's processing this. But I want you to notice how we immediately went to our camps. And we've seen this in the Charlie Kirk murder on both sides. Whenever something happens now, we immediately go to our camp without evidence, without thoughtful reflection. The folks on the left immediately saying this is murder and completely indefensible. The folks on the right, including the Trump administration, immediately defending the agent, saying it was self-defense and that she was a raving activist lunatic who was trying to kill him with her car. Now, we all know the truth is likely much more complex and nuanced than that. And what we all need to do is step back and admit we don't know, that we've only seen partial videos, that we have partial information. So from the authorities on all sides in Minnesota and in the federal government and us as citizens, it is our job to soberly reflect, to wait for the facts so that justice can be done. And more importantly, so we can make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again. So first, we have to watch how we all go immediately to our camps and start using it as political talking points, which is even more dangerous and disappointing. The second thing is we've got to look for the signal through the noise. You see, what's happening with immigration in the United States right now and the way the Trump administration is prosecuting immigration across the country is illustrative of a deeper problem that has emerged in America over the last 25 or so years. And that is that almost every election now in the United States, congressional and presidential, is won by razor-thin margins. But every time each party gets in power, it acts as if it has a clear mandate. And so what happens is, because America is a deeply divided country on so many issues, abortion, guns, taxes, the role of government, immigration, and on it goes, clean energy, oil. Because we're so divided on these issues, almost 50-50, when a party acts as if it has a 90-10 mandate and rules that way, it is a prescription for violence and further polarization. So let's look at the last mandate, so to speak, mandate. And the Electoral College is a deceiving number. Because yes, Trump won by 312 to like 220 or something like in the Electoral College, but the actual separation between them was 1.7 million votes, or basically less than 1%. And neither of them got 50% of the votes because the third parties got somewhere between 2 and 3% of the votes. So they both had less than 50%. So it wasn't a mandate, not a 90-10 or 80-10 or 70-10, even a 60 or 55-45 mandate. It was basically a 50-50 split. But then each party acts as if they have a mandate to run roughshod over the views of others. And immigration is a great example of that. Maybe half Americans agree we should be deporting a lot of people or all the people who are here illegally. Maybe half of Americans think we should be more nuanced and allow people who have jobs and have been productive people in this country to stay. But instead, the administration and the Republicans are running it like a 90-10 mandate, not knowing that because we're a 50-50 country, we have to listen even more. we have to reach out even more, because if we don't, we're just going to keep going back and forth. And the division and the polarization is going to grow. So the core issue is parties don't have real mandates. They win by razor-thin margins. Then they act as if they have a mandate, when in fact we need to talk to each other. And that goes to the third point that I want to make, is look, this moment is a wake-up call for America. So was the Charlie Kirk assassination a number of months ago. This is a wake-up call, folks. We are heading into a dark tunnel. We are moving to a time when we can't talk about instead of having real conversations about polarization, real conversations about immigration policy, that's not what we're doing. We're just all going to our camps and pointing fingers and blaming each other. We need to listen more, because if we don't, this dark place is going to grow. These incidents of civil disobedience, of violence, of killings on both sides, it is going to grow. It is going to get worse. And I don't know about you, that's not where I want our country to go. And it's not a good model for the rest of the world. So first, can we treat this as a tragedy and understand we don't know the facts yet, and all step back and say, let's find out the facts and hope that when the facts come out, both sides will agree to do the right thing, whatever that is. Second, can we agree that in a 50-50 country, we've got to talk, we've got to compromise? Because otherwise, we're just going to keep swinging back and forth and get more and more divided. And every party that wins acts like they have a mandate when they don't. We're deeply divided, let's admit it. So we've got to compromise and find a way to work together. And finally, can we all agree this is not where we want to go? It's not the kind of country that we want, where people are getting killed. Activists like Charlie Kirk are getting assassinated. Women like the woman in Minneapolis. Whatever happens, I think we all agree that we don't want moms to get killed while they're trying to protest in some way. So, folks, let's all do some sober reflection. I'd love to know what you think. I'm trying to start a conversation.